And we got 20, so I guess 20 is better than none. Let's see how many videos we got on. Hopefully we got 20, so I don't have to play that game. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Miss Ogawa, what's wrong with your camera, Miss Ogawa?
I have no idea. I'm looking at my settings right now and everything's on. And
Yeah,
it was
it's not
working for
even.
the first
It's
few
not even.
weeks.
It's not even putting your icon up. It's like got a camera with a slash through it.
Yeah,
So
that's what I see too.
you done pissed your laptop off.
I turned the whole thing off too and I restarted it. I got back into Teams and it's still not working.
Okay.
It's the Russians.
It is. It's the Russians. Whenever something don't go your way, you blame it on the Russians. Or now it's the Ukrainians and the Chinese. But they're all right. They're paying him off, so it doesn't matter. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the questions y'all sent. Y'all sent some questions to me. And the first one is 2.3, number 19/4. 2.3, 19 in the book, number 4 online. First of all, is it I can tell you right now it's going to be a test question because it says sketch graphs using transformation. So yeah, it is the material is a test question. Yep. And this is not a test question because this question is not correct. Okay. The reason I say it's not correct is because they do not square this 1/4 and they do not square this 3. And if they do, they've changed this problem. This problem has always given students fits because it's not correct. I'm going to show you the correct way to do this problem. But if you type in the correct way, it will probably say you're wrong. Okay, so the first one says y sub 1 is equal to x squared minus 2. Y sub 2, I'm going to do it in a different color. Y sub 2 is equal to 1/4 x quantity squared minus 2. And the other one is, that's red, I only do red for notes. And orange, y sub 3 is equal to 3x quantity squared minus 2. And I'm going to draw a BA graph, and I'm going to show you the correct way that this problem is supposed to be done.
I also fought with that problem.
Yeah, this problem is not correct. And I have emailed them, and they said it's correct. And I say, well, I guess we professionally disagree because you cannot draw a parabola with 1/4 x. You cannot draw a parabola with 3x. You cannot, well, that one's okay, but this one you have to distribute that square, and they don't do that with their drawing. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so the first one is -2, and that's a vertical shift, so that means that drawing is a regular parabola, like that. And if you want to have a couple of points to go with it, -1, 0, 1. Okay, so -1 is +1, -2 is -1, 0 is -2, and 1 is -1. And 0 minus 2 is right there. -1, -1, positive 1, negative 1. There you go. All right, so that's that parabola black. This one, I'm going to have to go y is equal to 1/16 x squared minus 2. And negative 2. What does the 1/16 do to the problem? What is a, when a is between 0 and 1, meaning that it is a proper fraction, what does it mean?
Does it shrink it?
Look at my notes. I told y'all. Starts with a W. I'm sorry, W.
Widens.
Makes it wider. And to give you some perspective, negative 1, 0, 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1/16 minus 32/16 is negative 16. Wait a minute. Let me do that again. 1/16 minus 32/16 is negative 31/16. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. We got that. And 1/16 is negative 31/16. Okay? So negative 1 and negative 31/16 is 1 and what? 1 and 15/16 plus 2. 1 negative 2, almost negative 2, 1 negative, so it's wider. And then the orange, we don't use this. We got a y sub 3 is equal to 9x squared minus 2. What does the 9 do? Since it's above 1, does it make it wider or skinnier? It makes it skinnier. These are the correct graphs. Now, I just got kicked off Teams. Okay. See if Mr. Dong got back in. He got back in. Mr. Dong, are you back in? I don't see him. Yeah, there he is. Okay. All right. So let's draw it and see what it says. Click. I'm going to draw what I think is correct. And I guarantee you they're going to mark it wrong. So there's my parabola. X is equal to negative 2. I got a vertical, nothing on vertical and horizontal. I got a vertical shift of negative 2. And that should be it for this one. Okay, the second one. Y is equal to, and I've got a vertical shift of negative 2. And what is my, I've got a stretch, okay? A horizontal stretch of 1 over what? One over 16. Everybody with me? Yes, no, maybe. Everybody with me? And
Yes.
that should be it. Now they're going to mark that wrong. If they do, it's wrong. If they don't mark it wrong, then they fix the problem. All right, now 3 would be 9x squared. 9x is going to be a vertical stretch of 9. So we've got a -2 and a vertical stretch of 9. This is the correct answer. That's the correct answer. But they're going to mark it wrong. Okay? Let me see. Yep, they still haven't fixed it. That's the correct answer. Now I'm going to show you how to get this problem right, even though it's wrong. Okay? I've shown you the correct. This is 100% correct. Does everybody understand that? You got to change that to 9x squared. You got to change that to 1/16. But what they're saying is this 1/4 is what you got to take into account, and this 3 is what you got to take into account, and that is 100% wrong. So I'm going to show you how to get it right. So you go back, and you can't change it, or you can, yeah, change this one. Change that. Let's see, the wide one. Change that, instead of a 16th, change it to a 4. And then the other one, change that to a 3. That's how you get this one right. But I do not put this on a test, so you don't have to finagle on the test, because this problem is not correct. You still get it wrong. Well, I don't know how you get it right. I don't know what they want. Well, it looks like to me that's the same thing that I got, is it not?
Mr. McClure,
Yes.
I was going to say, I was really glad that that wouldn't be a test question because, like I said before, like, I worked that problem, I want to say like 500 times, but also it said for some reason on 2.3 that we only had 3 times to do a problem.
Yeah.
And,
I need to fix that.
okay.
I'll fix it. Just remind me after class. Y'all
Okay.
see I got the answer wrong, but what's the difference in these two graphs?
That's why I sent the question in, because
Yeah.
that was my same problem. It looked like the same thing, but it still counted it wrong.
And this is the wrong answer. The right answer is what I did right here. This is the right answer. And you got to type in that 9 and that 1/16 because this isn't correct. This is within the parentheses. You can't use that 1/4 and that 3. So that's why I don't put it on the test. This question is wrong. And even if I typed in the correct answer, and then I typed in what they wanted, and it still told me I was wrong.
The very inside one looks like it's shrunk more on their correct answer, but I think yeah, they might put it as 9 or something.
They might have put that one as 9.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense because they're using one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you understand what I'm talking about. This problem is not correct, and I will give you credit for it on the homework. But I have to wait till after the due date before I do that. And I need to go in and change that. Let me go in and change that. I don't know why 2.3 is the only one that's that way, because all of them are supposed to be unlimited. So hold on a
I
second.
think 2.6 may be the same way.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's at that for me too, 2.6, yeah.
Okay, so I'll change that for you. 2.6. There you go. And 2.3. Yeah, I don't know why that's set for 3, because when I set up this class, I didn't do that. So I don't know. All right, that should be open. Now let's go back to the questions. All right, next question. 2.5, let's see if these are in order. Yeah, they're not in order. 2.5, 35, 4. 2.5, 35, 4. So it looks like number 35 in the book, and it's number 4 online. Okay, a piecewise function. So let's look at it. I'm going to blow it up a little bit so I can get some points. Okay, first of all, ignore the bottom. I'm going to show you what you should be able to tell me about this question without looking at the directions. Okay, first of all, we're going to look at the one on the left. So I'm going to try to draw it. Okay, let's see, -2, -1, -2, -1, and then 1 down, 1 over, 1 down, 1 over, 1 down, 1 over. And then the upper one is -2, +2, and it's just a straight line going this way. Okay, so I've drawn the 2 graphs, and I'm just going to put, let's see, -3, -3, -2. So this is -3, -2, and this is -2, -1. And this is y is equal to +2. Okay, so what are these 2 graphs? Well, we don't know this one. We got to figure this one. So I'm going to go over here. That's going to be -3, -2, -2, -1, x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that's going to be -1, -2, -2, -3. M is equal to 1 plus 2. -1 plus 2 is what? 1. And -2 plus 3 is what? 1. So the slope is equal to 1. And I'm going to pick a point, -2, -1, and M is equal to 1. So y minus y sub 1 is equal to M times x minus x sub 1. X sub 1, this is x sub 1, this is y sub 1, -1, 1, -2. So y plus 1 is equal to x plus 2. So y is equal to x plus 1. So this is equal to y is equal to x plus 1. And what numbers of x are we using for this function? Well, it's pointing this way, so that means those numbers, we can use all those numbers up to what?
-2.
And we can use -2 because that circle is closed. So f of x is equal to, we've got this y is equal to 2. And what can we use for this number right here? Well, this arrowhead is pointing this way. What numbers can we use for this function? Anything above what? Above 2. We can't use 2 because it's an open circle. So I'll take my yellow marker, and that's going to be 2. And x is greater than 2. Y is equal to 2. That's the horizontal line. And you got to use all numbers above 2, but you can't use 2 because that's an open circle. And the next one, we'll do it in green. Where's my green marker? And that's going to be x plus 1. And the domain for that function is negative infinity to what? 2? Yeah, negative 2. And you can use 2. Or you can say x is less than or equal to negative 2, whichever one you want to use. And that should be the answers to this question. So let's see what they got. See what the answers say. All right, I got x plus 1. So there's x plus 1, 2 right there. So the domain for this function is negative infinity to positive infinity because this dark one cancels out that open one. So I can use negative 2 right here and then everything above negative 2. So negative infinity to positive infinity. What's the range? Well, this arrowhead says it keeps going down. So negative infinity to positive infinity, but not 1, 2. Y is equal to positive 2. Yeah, you could say negative infinity to positive infinity because 2 is used throughout this whole, it's just not used right here. So you can say negative infinity to positive infinity. They don't give you that, so it's going to be, except you can't use 2. So, that's, oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Negative infinity to negative 1 and then 2. So it should be negative infinity to negative 1 and then 2. So it should be A. So that's a good test question. Like I told you before, on the piecewise functions, I probably only give you 1. And that's a good example. So whoever sent that question, you picked a good test question. Next. I delete them as I go so I don't do them over. Let's see, the next one is 45. 2.5, 45 / 18. 2.5, 45 in the book, number 18 online. Another piecewise function. So we're going to do it in the graphing calculator. So let's pull out your handy dandy calculator.
I had a question about where it says y is equal to x. It has it double bracketed.
I'm sorry, what now?
On that one, where it says y is equal to, and then the x is double bracketed.
That means a stepwise function.
Okay, how do I do that in my calculator?
Well, I'm going to try to show you if I can remember. If I can pull it up. It's still pulling up. Well, while it's pulling up, while we're waiting, TI 84 step piecewise function. I would go to the video, but some of those videos, those guys like to hear themselves talk, and they just go over one thing over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, good gosh. Especially Con. He likes to repeat himself like 5 times. Let's see. Alpha Y, enter. Second math. That's not helping us any.
You have a work email.
That's a piecewise. Let me do step. There's a function you can do it. Piecewise step. Oh gosh, all it gives us is good. It's on. It's already on mute. That's not what I want. I know how to do a piecewise function. There it is. Now see, it took this guy or person almost 7/8 of the video to do what it actually says. There it is. Math num number. There it is. 5. There it is. Math num 5. I knew it was in there. I knew it was under the math function. So let's take our handy dandy calculator. And I done forgot the question, so let me pull it up. Y is equal to X. So Y is equal to, and then go to math num 5, which means interval, and then X, and then close parentheses. There you go. Now that's pretty much it. Now you just need to see what the, let's see if I think you type in brackets. I don't know if they put the steps on this one or not. Give me a second. And I don't know if they're going to put, yeah, I don't think they put, let's see if they put, negative, well, oh, minus 3.5. I'm sorry. That's the question, minus 3.5. I'm sorry. I thought that was the domain or something. So go back and Y is equal, change that to minus 3.5. There you go. And I don't know what they're gonna ask, but we'll see what they ask. And of course, it looks like this right here, because it has a vertical shift of negative 3.5, so that's the only one. That's a positive shift. That ain't even a part of it because that's not a piecewise function. That's just a line. So it's not this one. So you can take your handy dandy whiteboard and you can just automatically take out that function out and this function, because that has a vertical shift of 3.5. This has a vertical shift of 3.5 positive, and this is only answer. So even if you don't have a calculator, you can still get the answer correct by using your vertical and horizontal shifts and orientation. This is only one with a negative 3.5 vertical shift. And you feel good about yourself. Now that right there is a test question. Why would I put that on the test? Because it's what? Short and sweet. And you can do it without a calculator. That's why I would put it on the test. Next, let me clear this and get rid of that. Next question. Gotta hurry. I'll try to get these questions in. Next question. Well, that takes care of 45. Somebody sent 253s. So this will be 2.553 /5. Okay, one person says they don't understand it. The other person didn't send anything, so we'll take this one. First of all, is it a test question? Yes, it could be. Oh yeah, it's a test question. Composition of functions. Okay, first of all, everybody has to put their pinky up, and we have to be sophisticated. Because remember, composition is nothing but substitution. So, f of x is equal to x squared, and g of x is equal to the 1 minus x square root. And they want f composed of g, g composed of f composed of f, and g composed of g. Now I'm just assuming that's what they want because that's all you can do. And I told y'all last week, Wednesday? I told y'all, or Friday, I told y'all that this guy, you rewrite with a big set of parentheses. So I'm going to rewrite with a big set of parentheses. I'm going to do that in green. So F, I'm going to rewrite with a big set of parentheses. G, I'm going to rewrite with a big set of parentheses. F, I'm going to rewrite with a big set of parentheses. And G, I'm going to rewrite with a big set of parentheses. Y'all with me? Now, I'm not going to use yellow because that's, let's go with pink. G means plug and chug, or the second letter means plug and chug. So I'm going to take my pink marker and I'm going to plug G into this guy. I'm going to plug F into this guy. I'm going to plug F into this guy. And I'm gonna plug G into this guy. The hard part's done. Why is the hard part done? Because this is what y'all suck at. Even though you've done it in pre-algebra for years, or algebra 1, and it was called what? Substitution. Now it's called composition, and you run into walls because you don't know how to do it. But you've been doing it for years. Now you just simplify. What does the square do to the square root?
Gets rid of it.
Cancels it. So you're left with 1 minus x. This one is not so. This one actually is square root of 1 minus x squared. They may want you to, I'm just going to put the square root of 1 minus x squared, because that is different from this. And this is x to the 4th. And this is square root of 1 minus the square root of 1 minus x. And that's your answers. I'm going to leave that there for a second. Questions? I doubt very seriously you're going to mess with these. That one's nested, so I know you're not going to mess with that one. You could simplify that one, but I wouldn't mess with it. Let's see what they got. F composed of G is 1 minus x. G composed, and I'm gonna let you can plug anything you want to into that, but you can't have, it's under the radical, so you can't have a negative. So that means everything above 1, greater than or equal to 1. Okay, or negative infinity, that's less than, sorry. This one, I would probably get 1 minus x, the square root of 1 minus x shift up squared. And of course you would domain, let's set that equal to, I'm going over here to set it equal to, so 1 minus x squared is equal to 0. Negative x squared is equal to 1. Negative 1. X squared is equal to 1. So x is equal to positive or negative 1. So we got to set up a number line. And let's see, we got a negative 1 right here, 0, positive 1. So let's plug in a negative 2. Let's plug in a negative 2. What's negative 2 squared? That means I want somebody to say something. What's negative
4.
2 squared? 4. And 1 minus 4 is a negative or a positive?
Positive.
1 minus 4?
Negative.
So we can't use 2. Let's use 0. What's 1 minus 0? 1. So we can use that. How about 2? Can't use 2 because that'd give us a negative. So negative 1 to positive 1 is your domain. Negative 1 to positive 1. -1, comma, +1. The reason you can use brackets is because you can actually take the square root of 0. The square root of 0 is 0. F composed of F is x to the 4th, and that'll be all real numbers. Because you can plug anything into x to the 1st, x to the 2nd, x to the 3rd, x to the 4th. So negative infinity to positive infinity. Infinity. Negative infinity, comma, positive infinity. And then the last one, they didn't ask you the last one, did they? Yeah, they don't want you to mess with the last one. That last one is a monster. So I gave you one extra. Okay. And that's how you do that question. So with the time remaining, the 3 minutes that we have left before y'all go into convulsions, you try the last one, which is, oh, somebody didn't send another one. Thank you, Mr. Walters, for sending it during class. When are you supposed to send the questions, people?
Before.
Before class, not during class, because during class, you're telling me that you're working on homework.
I didn't send that during class. That was last night.
Oh, you didn't? When did
Nope.
you send it?
Sunday, 7:35 p.m.
Did you look at that? It just popped up.
It was there. I saw it there before.
Oh, it was? I
I
didn't
think
see it. Okay. I thought you just sent it.
No,
All
no,
right,
no,
then we'll do
no. I
this
already did it.
2.7. Well, we'll go ahead and do it because if you send it, somebody else has a question on it. 2.677 in the book. Well, there's another. 2.2. I didn't see that one. 77/7. Is this a test question? If it's a difference quotient, it's a test question. Yep. So we're going to finish with this one. I only got like 1 minute, so I'm going to try to hurry. All right, so I've got to do 7x. And if you have to go, just write me a message in the chat and say you're going to go because so I can. All right, so f of x plus 8. So that means I'm going to rewrite -7 parentheses squared plus 8x plus 6. And I'm going to put that in green. Minus f of x, which is just 7x squared plus 8x plus 6 all over h. And we all know the difference quotient is the slope. And what am I going to plug in right there in those parentheses? And right here, but I forgot to put another set of parentheses. X plus h, Hubert. That's right, class. All right, so that's going to be -7 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, that's shortcut number 1, plus 8x plus 8h plus 6 minus, and that's all it's going to do is change the sign of all of these. So that's going to be plus 7x squared minus 8x minus 6 all over h. And that's going to be -7x squared minus 14xh minus 7h squared plus 8x plus 8h plus 6 plus 7x squared minus 8x minus 6 all over h. And the 7x squared cancels with the -7x squared. The 8x cancels with the 8x, and the 6 cancels with the 6. Factor out a h, and that's going to leave you with negative 14x minus 7h plus 8 over h. And your final answer is negative 14x minus 7h plus 8. We'll leave that there.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm sorry, what?
I said thank you. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to type in the answer. I'm just going to type in a 3 and just hit, so it'll save us a little bit of time. And negative 14x minus 7h plus 8. And I'm going to look at that last question just right quick, if you don't mind. This is 2.243/8. 2.243/8. 2.2, okay. 2.243/8. Now this one, I don't think this is as bad as that other one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. It says use the translation y is equal to x squared, y is equal to x to sketch the graph. X minus 1, so that's going to be a parabola with a horizontal shift of 1 to the right. So it's going to be a parabola with a horizontal shift of 1 to the right. Parabola, horizontal shift of 1 to the right. And that should be it. That one right there. And that's it. Okay? All right, let me take the roll right quick and shut down everything before somebody goes into spontaneous combustion.